Hello everybody. Today I'm going to make some Yorkshire pudding. Yorkshire pudding. I believe it originated in England. It has nothing to do with pudding as we know it in America, and I don't think it has anything to do with Yorkshire. No, I'm assuming it came from the town of Yorkshire or Yorkshire, however they pronounce it. I don't know. But like I said, it has nothing to do with pudding, and you'll see at the end what I'm talking about. Okay, anyway, it's a very simple thing. You need 2 eggs. That's a little too much flour. You need less than that. You need like 3/4 of a cup of flour. It's actually a little less than 3/4 of a cup of flour, okay? Then you need a total of 5 ounces of milk. 2.5 ounces of milk and 2.5 ounces of water is what I use there. So that's what's up with that. Okay, now you put it all together in a bowl and mix it up until there's no lumps. That's all you got to do. I'll give you the ingredients again in a minute. Also, what I like to put in is a little bit of nutmeg. You know, not enough to where it overpowers. You know, nutmeg's a pretty strong spice. I just like to put in a little bit so there's just a hint of nutmeg. It really does make it nice. It really does. Okay, so I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm supposed to be mixing this up. I don't know why I'm not. But anyway, this is very simple. Very, very simple stuff to make. All you do is you get those ingredients together and you whip it up. Don't whip it too long. You don't want a lot of bubbles in it. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm checking to see how much milk is in there. And I had to get my glasses. That's how blind I am. I need my glasses to see. Anyway, it ends up there's 5 ounces of milk, which is about, I'm going to say about 10 tablespoons of milk. Or I'm sorry, of water and milk combined. Now look, you could use just milk or you could use just water. That's totally up to you. Either way, it's 10 tablespoons. Okay, so now we're just going to mix all that up until the lumps are gone. I'm going to add the nutmeg, and then I'm going to let it sit for about 30 minutes. It does help if you let it sit. You know, it relaxes the dough. Well, as you're going to see, this is not really a dough. It's more of a batter. I mean, this is thinner than pancake batter when you finish it up. There went the nutmeg. Oh, you can add a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper. You know, if you want to go crazy, you could add in some very small chopped bacon. You could add some very small onions and peppers. They got to be small though. You know, make them real small. If you're going to add anything to it, make it small. What else? That's about it. Okay, so now, like I said, this stuff is thin. You'd be surprised. In fact, you're gonna look at it when it's finished and you're gonna say, this can't work. There's no way this can work. But trust me, it works. There's no leavening agent in it. The eggs are the leavening agent, and you have just enough flour to support the structure when it bakes. You know what I mean? So in other words, basically what you have is eggs and a little bit of flour. You know, and some water. But the eggs are doing all the work. They're gonna puff up. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of pot au choux, which is cream puffs. That's what it reminds me of. Of course, the batter is, you know, the Yorkshire pudding batter is a lot thinner than the pot au choux. But when it's finished, it reminds me of cream puffs. Okay, so anyway, there you go. Look how thin that is. I mean, that stuff is really thin. All right, so now I'm gonna get ready to put them into the oven. There's a little preparation you have to do before you put them into the oven, and I will be right back and tell you about it here in a second. Here we go. Okay, listen, all the haters out there, I know that the oven is dirty. I know that the wall is dirty, needs paint. I know. I don't need to hear all that crap. Okay, so here's what I have now. I've got the muffin tins. I've got the oil that's very hot. In fact, the oven is smoking. And what I'm doing is I'm adding a 2-ounce ladle of the batter into each muffin tin. Okay, so what you want to do is you really don't want to take that pan out of the oven. You want to keep that oil as hot as possible. You don't want the oil to cool off. You know, that's, I don't know why, but that's pretty important. Okay, so I'm just filling them up. And like I said, you know, when you're working with this batter, you're going to say to yourself, there's no way that this can work. This is way too thin. You know, I remember the first time I made these. It was in a big restaurant, and they served a lot of prime rib, and they put me on the Yorkshire pudding. And when I was scooping the stuff out, I was like, what do these guys think is going to happen here? You know what I mean? Because I never saw it before. And I was kind of laughing at them, thinking, what the hell is going to happen? This stuff's like water. But it came out beautifully. All right, now we're going to take them out of the oven here in a second. Hold on. Okay, it was 20 minutes. Set your timer for 20 minutes. And here they are. They're nice and light and fluffy, and they're hollow, and they're perfect for sopping up gravy. It's one of my southern friends said that. They're perfect for sopping up gravy. And you've got that little hint of nutmeg in there. Oh boy, these things really are good. And they're so simple. I mean, you know, it's, what is it, 3 ingredients? Well, not counting the nutmeg and the salt, but yeah, that's about it, 3 ingredients. You know, next time you have a prime rib or a turkey or a ham, you know, save the grease. Even if you have to put the grease in the freezer, you know, that stuff will last forever. And they're not really greasy. You know, they don't absorb the grease. They're not greasy at all. You can see, look at the bottoms. The bottoms of them are, you know, pouring that thing into the grease. You'd think the bottoms would be greasy, but they're not. They're not at all. Okay, so what you have to do is make sure the oil is hot. The oven, I cook mine at 450, so the oven is hot. Put the muffin tins in the oven, heat them up, then add the oil, put it back in the oven, heat it up, and you know, then add the stuff, keep the oil hot. All right, now look, you could, like I said earlier, I think I said earlier, I don't know, you could add stuff to it. You could add little chopped bacon, you could add onion, green pepper, red pepper, you know, whatever you want. Don't add too much, because you're going to make them too heavy and they might not rise. You know, don't forget, the only thing that's making them rise is the eggs. That's all. That's the only leavening ingredient that's in there is eggs. All right, now look, you can see how light they are. You might have a spot in the very center that's not quite 100% cooked, but that's all right. I eat it anyway. It's, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not dried out like the rest of it. Okay, that's about it. That's Yorkshire pudding right there. Now, you know, they don't make it in restaurants anymore. You know, I don't know, the cooks are just numbskulls and they don't know how to do it or something. I don't know what it is, but it's very hard to find. But if you do find this someplace else around town, you ain't gonna find it any better than this. I'll see you later. I gotta go. I gotta eat.